The other team just trying to squeak in the back end. We've got a great game for you. My name's Nathaniel Finch. That is Drew Ranke. Down on the sideline is Nia Ortiz. And, man, we've got a great game in front of us. The Indianapolis Greyhounds winners of 17 straight games. That's all on the line against a very good Southwest Baptist squad.
Yeah, this Southwest Baptist team is led by Quinn Nelson. He is one of the best players in the GLVC. Not to mention, speaking of GLVC, Player of the Week last week was Mitch Ganote. They have some dogs on their team, so you better be careful with that. 17 in a row is a long streak. You don't want it upset here now towards the end of the season as we get into this GLVC tournament.
Let's head down to the sideline with Nia Ortiz. Nia, what do you have for us?
Thank you so much, guys. As they mentioned, I'm your sideline reporter, Nia Ortiz, where I'll be giving you the inside scoop here right on the sidelines. Tonight is a very special night, senior night, where we'll be honoring the 4 seniors on the Greyhounds: Jacoby Robinson, Bruno Williams, Ben Nicholson, and Aaron Etherington. Tonight should be a great game. We are hoping it'll be the 18th consecutive win tonight, and we will also be honoring Kendrick Chowa for his 100th point and 600 rebound. Stay tuned with us all night. Back up to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Nia. A lot on the line today. How about the number 1 team in the GLVC? And Drew, the Greyhounds, they secured the regular season conference title. And it's not anywhere near the end of the list of their accomplishments and their goals for this season. But for Southwest Baptist, I mean, they came into the year picked number 2 in the conference. They're right there at number 3, having a good season. You know, so far this year, 18-7. They are 10-7 in the conference. But their record is not nearly as good as they play. They are a good squad. They've got some great guys on this roster.
Yeah, this Greyhound team really has their eyes set on something a lot more than just the regular season GLVC championship. They want to win the tournament, and they want to make a big, deep season run in the NCAA tournament, possibly win the whole thing. I mean, 6th in the country right now is no joke. 23-2, 15-2 in the conference, and they're really a threat to make a title run, you can call it.
Yeah, I mean, they've got great guys up and down the roster. How about Kendrick Chowa coming off a career-high 27 points. He also tallied 14 rebounds. What a game he had in their win last Thursday against Drury. It was a 76-65 victory. And, man, that big man, he can dominate the paint, to say the least.
And let's not breeze over that. He just hit his 1,000th career point and 600th rebound in his career, and he's only a junior. So he has a whole nother year of eligibility here at the University of Indianapolis. He has been something to really – he's just a spectacle to watch. I mean, he's great in the paint. He can really show a big presence there. And then he just is impossible to stop, it seems like. He just hit a new career high last week with 27 points. He's just someone that has the high-octane energy and that can really get a team going even when they're down.
Oh, and guess what? He's not even the team's leading scorer. How about Jesse Bingham, number 3rd in the entire Great Lakes Valley Conference in points per game? He puts up 16 per contest, also 3 rebounds, 3 assists. He has had himself a great year, and you know, it was announced on Thursday. He's a top 50 finalist for the Bevo Francis Player of the Year Award. He's been on a tear this year.
Now, if you don't know, the Bevo Francis Award is basically the same thing as the John Wooden Award in D1, and that is the best player in college basketball. That's a big deal. I mean, when you think about it,
yeah.
University of Indianapolis, top 50 player in the whole country, Jesse Bingham, he's really been that guy all year for the Greyhounds. I mean, he's been spectacular, and you can't really be mad at him for anything. I mean, career high 28 points this year, 3rd in the scoring in the GLVC, 5th in blocks, and 11 assists. He's just really done it all for this Greyhounds team.
This team would not be what it is without these 2 starting seniors, 4 total seniors. They're all being recognized right now. You're looking right now at Jacoby Robinson. He wears the number 23 jersey. You'll hear his name plenty. Not the top scorer on the team, but, man, he does every single thing else that this team needs. He's averaging 7 points a game. How about Drury? No points in that game, but he had 9 rebounds, a career-high 6 assists, a career-high 5 steals. This guy literally does it all.
Yeah, he does. I mean, we can say this about every player here that we're going to name off for the next 10 minutes. They really do it all. I mean, they are the do-it-all team. This is probably one of the best teams ever assembled at the University of Indianapolis, and they have really shown it this year, especially with their record and especially with their play on the court. Coach Cusharo has done a great job of coaching these young men and getting them ready to play basketball, and they're ready to do other things in life besides just play basketball.
But again, this Southwest Baptist squad, they match up pretty well with Uindy. Talked to Coach pregame. He says that, you know, this is a very serious, a very good Southwest Baptist squad. And, you know, they're led in scoring all time by Quinn Nelson. He's a graduate senior. It's his 5th year with the school. He gives them 15 points a game this season, but how about that? He got his 1,759th point in that win that they had last game. That was Thursday night against Lewis. He has put together a great career with this team, and for this Southwest Baptist squad, they're getting hot at the right time. 4 straight wins got them in pretty good position trying to head into the tournament and into regionals potentially after that.
Yeah, they're no team to really look over. I mean, 18-7 on the year, 10-7 in the conference. And like you said, they've won 4 in a row. I mean, they're not a team that really goes down easy. I mean, 78 points per game. Same
That's
amount.
Second best in the conference.
The Greyhounds are averaging 77, but the Greyhounds' defense is sweltering, just allowing 62. So it'll be a real dogfight to see what happens here tonight with this Greyhounds defense and this Southwest Baptist offense.
The number 1 defense in the conference, top 13 defense in the nation, Drew, and the number 2 offense in the GLVC. That's the Greyhounds with the defense, Southwest Baptist with the offense. But, oh, yeah, the Greyhounds, they can score plenty as well, right behind them in terms of offensive scoring. How about we step aside? When we come back, we'll have starting lineups and plenty more. That's next right here on Uindytv and the GLVC Sports Network. Back here on the south side of Indianapolis, it's Nicholson Hall, the campus of the University of Indianapolis. So let's start with Southwest Baptist and their starting lineups. They made the 7-hour trip from Bolivar, Missouri, all the way down I-70, and you just keep driving and driving and driving. Eventually you get there. So let's take a look at the starters for this squad. Starting at point guard, the Sewanee, Georgia native. It's a 6'2" senior in Mitch Ganoten. Man, is he a great player at shooting guard. A duo of 6'3" grad senior Quinn Nelson and the Texan, a 6'4" sophomore R.J. Crawford. And looking at the rest of this lineup, how about the forward pairing? 6'7" freshman Noah Franklin, 6'5" junior Aiden Stone. They round out the top 5. The Bearcats are coached by Clark Sheehy in his 9th year with this squad. And then when we take a look at the Greyhounds starting lineups, we've got the typical starting 5 for this squad, beginning with the point guard from Nova Scotia, Canada. That's 6'3" junior Josiah Tynes. Then at guard, a guard pairing of 6'4" senior Bruno Williams and former Warren Central Warrior, the 6'6" redshirt junior in Jesse Bingham. At the 4 position is 6'7" senior Jacoby Robinson, a high school teammate of Bingham's. And finally, coming off, Drew, a career game from Silver Spring, Maryland, the 6'7" center Kendrick Choa at the 5. These Hounds coached by UIndy graduate Paul Corsaro, 53 wins in his 3 short years.
He's been great. I mean, 3 short years, 53 wins, especially 23-2 this year. He's done great things for this team, and he's really built and assembled a juggernaut of a basketball team.
And you know what's been wild is it took him a long time to do so, right? They lost their first 7 games of that first season. Since then, they have been off and running, and this has been a fun team to watch, Drew, over the years. I'm curious to see what the next step is for Coach Corsaro. Is he going to use his success this year, get himself a bigger job, or is he going to stick around and continue to build the program? It'll be interesting to see, especially if this team makes a deeper run. I
think his ties to the university keeps him here. I mean, he played quarterback on the football team. He played basketball here as well. And I think he has a pretty good connection with all the guys on this team. I mean, he's not that old. He's pretty young, and I feel like he can relate to them as well.
These teams ready to get things underway. The Hounds, again, averaging 77 points a game. They are only giving up 62 points per contest, top 15 in the nation. Is that they're the #1 team in the conference when it comes to scoring margin as well. #1 in rebounding, #2 in rebounds allowed, #1 in blocks. You can go down the gauntlet. They are the best team by far in the GLVC, but hey, this Southwest Baptist team, they just match up pretty well. And number 2 in offense, #4 in defense. You know, they're top 3 in plenty of other categories. They're also the top assisting team in the conference. They spread the ball around well. That's why they have so many guys that can score.
The way I think about the way the Greyhounds play basketball is it's team basketball. I mean, you have no guy that is really just taking over each game. They play great team basketball.
As close as you can get to taking over the game. The career high day of #1 in white. And you see there he misses the opening tip-off. That'll give Southwest Baptist the first chance to strike and see if they get an early lead on UIndy. It'll be paramount, get an early lead, and they're going to do so right here. A wide open backdoor cut. Quinn Nelson, the team's all-time leading scorer, puts 2 up early.
Yeah, that was just a breakdown of defense there by the Greyhounds. Early start to the game. I mean, it was only 20 seconds into it. Nothing to really worry about. Just fix it and adjust and go on.
Inside, here's the big man, but a quick double team. That always leaves an open guy. His name is Josiah Tynes. He got it. The Hounds take the lead early. What a way to start. UIndy last game against Drury, only 3 made threes all game. They shot 17%. It was ugly.
Finding that open guy in the corner there. Josiah Tynes knocks down the 3 and gives the Greyhounds an early lead.
So what's going to happen, though, because you have to double team Kendrick Choa on the inside, and all it takes is the Greyhounds to get that outlet pass. Maybe we see a high assist output from the team in white. Could have been another bucket on the backdoor cut, but instead goes off the hand of Aiden Stone. Try this again for the Greyhounds.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, they had the right play. I mean, you had a guy cutting underneath the basket, and Stone just couldn't handle that ball.
A triple team almost in the corner, and again leaves an open guy from downtown. A tad too short, Jesse Bingham. In transition, here we go. It's a foul. We'll see Noah Franklin at the free throw line.
Early foul there on Kendrick. Kendrick really hasn't gotten in any foul trouble of late. I mean, he's been pretty poised with his body movement and body adjustments underneath the basket, and he's done really good, especially with him committing those fouls. I mean, he's not really one to get the fouls against him, and that really helps him and the team.
And you know what, Drew? He fouled out last Saturday on the road against William Jewell. He really struggled that game. He didn't find a whole lot of success whatsoever. But then all of a sudden, you know, he comes in, only commits one foul on Thursday, and it was a big reason why he was able to score so many points. When he stays out of foul trouble, he can be dangerous. The outlet, a third three of the day. That's all they've done, and they missed it. They get the offensive rebound from the #1 offensive board man in the conference. A steal there, a good-looking one from Aiden Stone, and now in transition to the bucket. Stone gets the steal, gets the bucket.
Southwest Baptist is really attacking the paint there. I mean, they're going right at Choa to try and force him to do something, and it's worked so far here with the early lead.
Yet another three. This Southwest Baptist squad giving them all up, and this time Robinson sinks it through.
As we have seen 4 threes taken here, 2 of them by Robinson, finally connecting on one there, gives the Greyhounds a 6-5 lead.
Another cut on the inside. This time ball goes out of bounds. Will stay Southwest Baptist ball. Tell you what, Drew. On one side, the Greyhounds offense, all they're doing is finding open looks from downtown. On the other end, these backdoor cuts, these feeds inside, so successful. It's been 2 opposite styles of basketball.
It's been completely opposite styles of basketball. SBU is attacking the glass, and UIndy hasn't really done that at all.
Ball goes out of bounds again, this time halfway through the shot clock. I'll tell you what, we've already seen quite a few lead changes just to start this game over the first 11 points. I think we're going to see a good game, Drew. I mean, come on, this has got to be a precursor of what's to come.
Yeah, I think that both teams are starting to figure each other out here, and it'll be different. I mean, it might be a change as the game gets going, as the Greyhounds start to get towards the glass, and the Bearcats try and move out towards the three-point line. I mean, we might just see a complete opposite.
First man off the bench, his name is Sean Craig. He's a freshman. He lets the ball go through his hands. That is, you know, an easy turnover there. Southwest Baptist will have offense.
The Greyhounds shoot 35% from beyond the arc. As, I mean, that's all the shots they've taken so far here today. What I'd like to see them doing is trying to implement the big man down low. I mean, I've got Julian Steinfeld in the game now. It's pretty hard to guard that 7-foot player. So it might be a change of game plan from Coach Cesaro.
Played just 14 minutes in that game against Southwest Baptist a year ago. So we got a mid-range popper. How about that? Rebound from Steinfeld, who we're talking about right now. But against Southwest Baptist last year, 5 points, but 3 blocks in his limited time. You know, he's pretty good on the defensive end, safe to say.
You had Steinfeld open there off a pick and roll. I'm surprised Walker didn't find him underneath the basket.
Again, it's senior day here. Ben Nickerson into the game for the Hounds. Graduating. Jacoby Robinson also considered a senior, although he has 1 more year of eligibility left. He can stay if he wants, still trying to, he wants to finish out the season before he crosses that bridge, but we very well may see Jacoby Robinson stay for another year. Here's a corner 3, the aforementioned senior. It's a little too strong.
I'd like to see them trying to get down more in the paint.
How about that? Pushing the envelope. His name is R.J. Crawford. He gets on the board for the first time. Team's second leading scorer with 14 a game.
Crawford off the glass there, and there's nothing UIndy can do to stop them from driving.
Craig in the corner. He'll get it to a wide open straightaway 3 from Bingham. Jesse Bingham, yes sir.
Bingham from dead center.
Beautiful
knocks that one down. As the Greyhounds are riding or dying by the three-point ball here early.
And, you know, so far it's been riding, but all it takes is a little bit of a drought. Bearcats can go on a run. I think you're right. We need to get the ball inside some more if your name is head coach Paul Corsaro. Another 3, this time left wing, and that's ugly. Maybe that's the last time we see one for a bit, you think?
They need to attack the basket. I mean, you can't shoot threes all game. And we're not that one high school team that shot up 127 of them in a basketball game.
Heading to break. More next. Uindytv and the GLVC Sports Network. Not a bad start to the game. It's a close one. Hounds up by 2. What do you think, Drew? A good start to this basketball contest.
Yeah, both teams are looking good. I mean, complete opposites. SBU's driving the ball, and it's the first time we've seen Choa go down low.
You know, the coach Corsaro really drew that one up. Get Choa inside, and he didn't make the shot, but what happened? He gets fouled. He's been to the line so many times. He's shot almost 150 foul shots.
Yeah, but he's 70% from the line this year.
He's getting pretty good at it. You know, he started pretty poor, but he's really improving of late.
And he's done great things from the free throw line this year.
Just like that. And you got to imagine, hey, if you take out the first month or two of the season when he was really struggling, kind of below 500 when it comes to free throw shots, take those away, and he's got to be, you know, one of the best free throw shooters in the conference, right?
I attest Kendrick Choa to his work ethic. I mean, he saw what he was struggling on, and then he became better at it. I mean, 2 for 2 right there, 70% on the season. He should become a really 5-tool player there.
Hounds to increase their lead. They're up by 4 now after a couple of those free throw shots. And you know, I'll tell you what, if you keep fouling him on the inside, it's really going to prove costly.
Yeah, I mean, especially if he feels confident at the line, and he feels confident at the line now, and you keep fouling him, then he's just going to knock these down and have a 30-point game from the charity stripe.
And maybe more importantly, I think the Hounds are going to keep going to the inside if he keeps finding success there and getting to the line. You know, why settle for those threes when you can get the ball inside?
That's what I'm saying is, I mean, if that's what they need to start doing is get the ball down low, get it to Shoah, get it to Steinfeld, and try and, I mean, shoot, get it to Bingham as well, or Robinson. I mean, I could name all the players on the roster, and they're threats down low.
Couple transfers. David Ejah, Jarvis Walker enter the game. Here's the second one. It's a little too short. Walker can't hit. Walker, transfer from Purdue Fort Wayne, where head coach Paul Corsaro used to be an assistant. So the ball goes out of bounds. It will remain Bearcat basketball. Coach Corsaro doesn't agree with it. You see him running across the middle of your screen there.
I always love how intense Coach Corsaro is. And you always know when the game gets real is when he takes off his suit jacket.
Nice little poke check from the Canadian. Tynes hits it out of bounds, but want to remain in possession of Mitch Ganote. How about Ganote, though? The reigning GLVC Player of the Week. He's, you know, one of the top guys in the nation when it comes to hitting double-doubles. He's got 10 of those this season, 4 of them on assists. You know, he can do it all. A triple threat for this squad, and, you know, he's not their leading scorer. He's right up there, and he can do everything else pretty impressively.
This team itself is pretty impressive. I mean, if you look at their stats throughout the year, I mean, they are much improved from what they were last year. 17-game win streak for them. I mean, 17-game win streak, excuse me. It's the second highest win streak in university history. That's something to be proud of. I mean, they've really been putting in the work this entire year. I mean, these games haven't come easy.
No, especially the last few. The last handful of games have been single-digit wins that, you know, come down towards the end. The Greyhounds have just done a better job closing out contests, and it's been very impressive.
And I think that gives them a lot of confidence moving forward, knowing that they can do that.
Robinson to set up the offense. Coach Corsaro says there's been games where he's played all 5 positions. How about this? Walker goes up strong, gets fouled. But for Jacoby Robinson, you know, his main position, he's in the 4 spot as a forward, right? But he can play very well inside. He can do everything when it comes to bringing the ball up the court. He can be a good shooting guard. And there you see he does a good job facilitating his man inside. He just does it all.
He has great vision. I mean, he sees the court in other ways players don't see it. And I think that's spectacular, especially for somebody that's as tall as he is. I mean, he sees everything that happens down low, happens out on the wing, and feels like he has eyes in the back of his head.
He'll be sent to the line again. Here's Walker. Trying to increase the lead. It's only by a penny. An earful. Head coach Clark Sheehy over there talking to one of the officials, stomping his feet, trying to figure this one out. Why do the Greyhounds have the ball, he's asking. I'm getting the explanation. He's not very happy with it. Etherington on the drive. He's a senior as well. Crisis averted. How about that? No, Franklin almost knocked it away. Straight away, triple, bounces around. No good, but how about that? The long arms of Steinfeld. Looks like he fouls, though.
I mean, yeah, that was kind of an obvious call there. Got the rebound, but just can't be over the back of your defender there. Oh, wow.
Well, now you got to be very upset if your name is Southwest Baptist head coach Clark Sheehy. He's over there trying to figure this one out. Whistle blown will get things set. Entering the game now. His first time seeing some action today, Garrett Struford. Not one of the top players on this squad. More of a rotational piece. Only plays once in a blue moon, but he's in early. Trying to get some size on the big man in Steinfeld. Inside drive, they'll lose. No, they'll keep the ball. Here's the Hounds. Corner, triple. Yes, sir. Jacoby Robinson. He's had a couple of those already.
Walker finding Robinson in the corner. Bang. And that will force a timeout there.
Trying to get things situated. The Hounds with a bit of a platoon swap. Choa re-enters the game. Bingham and Tynes as well. We've got right now 6 white jerseys on the floor, trying to figure out who's got to go, who's got to stay. Now they do. All right, now we have 4-on-5 basketball. Trying to get things figured out of the Hounds. Walker gets to stay in the game. Etherington head to the bench. A little bit of miscommunication early. For the Bearcats, down by 2 buckets here. See if they can find some offense. They really found a lot of success on the inside drive early. See if they can do that here. They're trying. Stop, pop. Yes, sir. Quinn Nelson, 2 more to his name.
That was a nice play there by Nelson. I mean, little stop and go for him.
Baseline drive. Here's a mid-range. Jay, yes. Tynes. He's got 5 points early. A couple nice buckets for him. Cross key pass that leaves a wide open 3. That goes out of bounds. Hits the top of the backboard. Looked pretty good for R.J. Crawford. He shoots 41% from downtown. That's number 11 in the conference, but just a little off the mark. Tell you what, though, Drew, this Hounds team, they're not going to give you that many wide open looks. You got to take advantage.
No, they close out extremely well on 3-point attempts, and that's what can really force a team to miss a bunch. I mean, this Greyhound defense is just, they like to swarm to the basketball.
Williams straight away, too strong off the back iron. He just re-enters the game alongside David Echaw. Now in transition, who thought about a 3? That's Crawford again. Nelson trying to facilitate some offense. This tight defense gets halfway through the clock. On the ground is Tynes, but he rebounds, gets back up. Nice feed on the inside, trying to go for 2, and he got it. Aiden Stone, beautiful patience.
Yeah, Stone got Kendrick to jump up, and then Choa just had no chance but to put his arms down and non-contest that one.
Whistle blown on the other end. It'll be a foul. 1-1 when we come back from this media timeout. More next on Uindytv and the GLVC Sports Network.
Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment. This is Uindytv News.
I had to sneeze so bad.
for that, guys. It's Naya Ortiz here on Sideline giving you the inside scoop. The crowd is going nuts, and the stadium is plastered in crimson and gray tonight for our Greyhounds. They are cheering on the Greyhounds like crazy, and the refs are really telling the Bearcats coach to take a breather as his face turns red, as he is just outraged at all of the calls that they're making. And Coach Corsaro is doing an amazing job encouraging his players, saying that they're just making tiny mistakes. Back up to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Naya. A great report there as we're ready to get back on to the floor. And like I said, going into the break, we've got a 1-on-1 opportunity here. Hounds currently lead by 2, and they got a chance to increase that here. I'll tell you what, previous years, Choa at the front end of a 1-on-1 hardly ever hit him, but now he's just such a good free throw shooter, simply because he's had to practice it so often, right? You shoot over 150 free throws in a season, you tend to get good at it after a while.
Yeah, and he's just become, it's been repetitive for him, and he just puts it in every time. Four for 4 on the day for Choa from the free throw line, and he has to be extremely happy with that start.
Tell you what, though, the easiest way to get some career highs in scoring, you keep hitting from the foul line. All 4 of his points come from that line. How about this full court trap the Hounds are currently employing? They do a good job getting defensive pressure from the baseline, don't they?
Yeah, and I think that's a key to their success.
Woo! That will do it. How about that deep 3 from Quinn Nelson? He's number 3 in the conference in three-point percentage and three-pointers made. And now with some numbers on the other end, it's a steal. Now the Hounds, look at this, works out perfectly. Williams, who tripped up and was slow to get back on defense, left him wide open because he was the only one in the backcourt by mistake, but it works out perfectly.
And sometimes you just need a little bit of a trip to get you to go.
The whistle blown. It'll be against the offense. Looks to be off the ball. So the Hounds ahead by 3. They're in the bonus very early. How about this 8 quick fouls for Southwest Baptist? You heard Naya allude to. That's why head coach Clark he was so upset about it, is because we're not even halfway through and you're already in the bonus. This is going to spell a lot of free throw opportunities for Indianapolis.
Especially with the free throw shooting ability of Indianapolis. I mean, 71% on the year, not great, but over the last couple games, they've proven that they can knock down the free throws in those crucial moments.
Tynes on the dribble drive, goes up for a tough shot, and he gets it to fall. Josiah Tynes, how about that?
See Tynes drive the lane here, put it up. Absorbed a lot of contact on that one. Surprised no foul call, but nonetheless, he gets the bucket.
Inside drive, blocked away, David Ija. And now looks like Bingham stepped on the baseline. So coming in, seeing his first action was Jerry Abushanab, and he's the one that gets knocked out down low.
Yeah, Jarvis Walker got all of the ball on that one. Led to a great transition there for the Greyhounds. Just unfortunately, Jesse has too long of legs and stepped out of bounds.
Big shoes that man has. Ganote's going to bring up the ball. I think of him as a good Russell Westbrook type, right? Maybe not the one that's been playing the last couple years, but for Ganote, stuffing the stat sheet, helping his team to wins as a point guard, getting the amount of rebounds that he does. I mean, it has been impressive. 10 points a game, 7 rebounds a game, 6 assists a game. He does it all, and he reminds me so much of Westbrook. A really strong point guard as well.
On that last possession there, Stone went to the rim, took a lot of contact. It's weird how the officials are letting him play on some, but not on others.
It's not often you see through the first 10 minutes. One team has 8 fouls, the other team has committed 3. You know, typically that just doesn't happen. It almost gets chalked up towards that referee crew. Credit to Southwest Baptist, though, despite all these fouls, still keeping it close. It's a 4-point game. We exchange leads pretty often in the early going, but since then the Hounds have kept the lead, but it has not been by much. Kick out, and that one, not a pretty one. They'll go out of bounds. Southwest Baptist with the ball. And you know what? What's critical about that is if they just grabbed it kind of halfway through that backcourt, obviously it was going to be a turnover regardless, but no one chased it down. Instead, it hit the baseline on the other end. Now Southwest Baptist, they only have to go to the length of the floor. They get this one easy. It's just an inbound pass and a shot.
I think that's just not knowing the rule book there, but
everyone just gave up.
Just play on at this point.
Inside and a travel. Jerry Abushanab walked with it from Glendale Heights, Illinois. See him in here, the 6'6" man trying to match up on the 6'11" German. There's the thing about this Southwest Baptist squad, though. A lot of great players, a lot of them on the shorter side of things. They don't have anyone that can really come in and compete with these tall centers that Uindy employs. Easy travel. Looked like Etherington early spring break trying to head to Florida with that one. Bingham will re-enter the game.
Had a good start to this game. I mean, both teams look explosive. Both teams look very good on the defensive end.
Pretty even statistically. The Hounds one more board, one more assist, one less turnover.
The only difference I really see is the Greyhounds have shot 9 more three-pointers than the Bearcats.
And they made 3 more of them. Here's a shot, goes right. Ganote can't get it to go, and a rebound. Second leading rebounder on the team, and Jacoby Robinson. Tynes thought about a 3. Instead, Walker does the same. Kicks it out. This time it's the triple, and it's too strong. Inside offensive board. A powerful finish, but he travels. Julian Steinfeld, a missed opportunity. That looked pretty.
It looked like he got a lot of contact when he jumped, and it kind of just moved his feet a little bit.
Trying to solve the riddle that's been Paul Corsaro's defense. Right wing triple, too short. Nice rebound from the point guard in Ganote, just like what we were talking about. Here's another 3. This one off as well. Bingham gets the board. McMillan can't hit. Had a scoreless 10 minutes the last time these two teams played last year. Foul this time on the shot. Yet another one against the Bearcats to send Robinson to the line. It's the team's 9th.
One more into the double bonus, and we are barely under halfway in the first half. I mean, how important do you think that is? Like, having 8:23 remaining in the first half, and you're going to be in the double bonus.
Especially for a team that can be as physical as UND. They draw so much contact. If these simple things are being called as fouls, I mean, yeah, I get it when you hack a guy, when you hack a Kendrick Choa, call those. But when these simple things that don't deserve to be fouls are being called, it makes it a lot harder for Southwest Baptist to hang in this game because they've got to work twice as hard for their shots.
Especially UND only having 4 team fouls right now.
You know, Drew, that's the thing. It'd be one thing if the refs were calling the same thing for both. If UND had a bunch of fouls, if it was just, simple contact gets you to the line every time. But UND's gotten away with stuff on the inside. Ganote on the run, 2-on-2 inside, and he'll back it out. RJ Crawford's been quiet. Feeds the big man. He steals it, but loses the ball. A missed opportunity for Steinfeld. How about RJ Crawford? A bit of a slow start to this contest. He only has 1 made shot. He's taken 3 of them. Crawford averages 14 a game, and he had 18 points against Lewis on Thursday. He's just been slow out of the gate. And you know what? He's had 16 or more points in 4 straight games. He's been hot of late, but the Hounds have, at least early, solved the riddle of RJ Crawford.
And you have another officials powwow there. And
what do you think they're talking about? It was a pretty obvious play that went out of bounds.
It did look like it hit Steinfeld coming in. As he was turning, he kind of ripped the ball away and it kind of just rolled off his arm.
They're going to talk about it. We'll do that next. Uindytv, GLVC Sports Network.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
After this timeout, this session has been just a crazy, impactful one with action after action. There was a crazy block made by number 21 in the Greyhounds, resulting in 2 points being added to their score. And Coach Corsaro seems to be communicating by stomping his feet in frustration, it seems like, because this game has just been awfully close. The Bearcats coach, on the other hand, really seems to be frustrated by all the refs' calls and having his arms crossed almost this entire time. Back up to you guys. This should be an interesting game.
Thanks, Naya. I think we all three can agree on that one, Drew. An interesting game, to say the least. It's been fun to this point in the contest, and man, we're only 12 minutes in.
I've had a great time so far. I mean, both teams are a little bit streaky here to start, but I think we're primed and ready to go for a great game this afternoon.
So the review, they just came in. They were talking about whether or not Steinfeld had tapped the ball before it went out of bounds. From my vantage point, it looked pretty obvious, but they thought that they'd go and look it over on the replay. You know, it was nice to make sure that you're sure in that call, but we're 12 minutes into the game. It was just a simple possession. I'd say you just let them play that one out. Let go with the original call. They were right. Just go with the original call.
Next time they should ask us.
Well, there we go. I like that idea. That shot high off the backboard, but a foul on the board.
So this is where we get into the interesting part of the game here. I mean, we have over 8 minutes left. The Greyhounds shoot 2 free throws every foul from now on.
Yeah, and that was a foul on the defensive end on the other side of the floor. And these guys marched 60 feet to the other end to go, shoot a free throw. It's Steinfeld. He's not the team's top free throw shooter, to say the least, around 63%. But you definitely, you can't afford these little ones where it's just a simple fighting over the board. You get a foul. Instead of it being a common foul, suddenly you're at the line for 2. I mean, teams typically don't go into the bonus, especially the first half bonus. You don't see it till the 4-3 minute mark, and we got in the 13-minute mark.
Yeah, it's very, very odd that we still got 8 minutes remaining, and Uindy shoots free throws the rest of the half.
It's part of basketball, though. You got to learn how the refs are going to call things. You got to get used to the way that fouls are called. Nice mid-range jumper, a foot in front of the arc. Drennan Dinkins, beautiful. He averages 9 a game.
That was a great mid-range jumper there.
Here's a 3, one step further from where Dinkins was, but it's a miss from Walker, and he's now forced to come play defense. In transition, Dinkins again has it. On the drive, they found some success here. Did he not walk there? I'm not sure. Instead, rebound Ganot after the miss from Crawford. Deep 3, another miss. Drew, what's the saying? The ball don't lie?
Yeah, it sure looked like he left the ground and then moved his feet at the same time, so surprised that wasn't called.
You see Tynes barking out orders. According to Corsaro, the most cerebral player on any court that he'll be on. Here's a corner 3. The freshman too short. Doesn't try for the rebound. Instead, it's a gifted one to R.J. Crawford. Again from Houston, Texas. Nice move on the inside. Ganot tries to feed. This defense is doing a good job kind of closing out whenever they get a little trip. They're not always right there in your face, but then they quickly get there. You don't have a lot of time to shoot. And, for Southwest Baptist, are they just being a little too selective at times? When you have an open look, an inch is a mile here with this Greyhounds defense.
And I like that they're taking the extra pass to try and find the open man, but sometimes it could just take a little bit too long. They got to be worrisome about the shot clock.
Hounds up by 4, 6:37 left. More next. Hounds up by 4. It's been an impressive coaching day from Clark Shea. He's in his 9th season with this squad, 136, 112 all time. He's doing a good job getting these guys, keeping them close in the game, keeping their composure, even when calls don't seem to go your way. It's been impressive to watch. One of the longer tenured coaches in the Great Lakes Valley Conference. And, you know, before that, this squad was in the MIAA, Mid-American Intercollegiate Athletic Association. Squad's out in Missouri. SBU with the drive, 10 steps, and they're going to say it was a kickball. No, rather, they're going to say he got tripped, put him at the line for 2. I like that call.
I'm surprised that wasn't called a travel. I mean, he took 6 steps between the three-point line and when he fell.
But you know, I think the reason why he had to take those steps is because he was tripped and stumbling. There's the only way to stay up. I think they, if it wasn't for the trip and he did that, yeah, but I think since he was stumbled a little bit there on a Hound's shoe, then we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't think that anybody on UIndy side of things too upset that they called a foul. It's only the 6th one. And that's compared to over 10 called against Southwest Baptist. Free throws are good, both of them. Coach Corsaro urging his guys to get going. See if they can do that. It's just seeming like a little bit of sloppy play of late. Each team combined one of their last 13 from the field. And a block, but this time it's a foul instead. It's a tough task trying to block Kendrick Choa. Garrett Strufert found out the hard way. Put Choa at the line.
Yeah, that was I mean, they were kind of shocked that a foul was called there, but Choa got a lot of abuse underneath the basket.
How about that? Bounces about 7 times and then rolls off. Can't get it to go in.
Thought Choa was going to get a home bounce there, as that one should have rolled in.
Instead, they both skip out. An empty trip to the line. Southwest Baptist, they like that. They can tie it here, if not more. On the inside, how about the patience there from Garrett Strufert? He waited it out. He let Choa go up. And instead of avoiding an embarrassing block, he went up for it.
Yeah, great patience there. I mean, he saw 2 defenders go up before him, and he just waited for them to come down, went up, empty sky there.
Bingham downtown, no. Rebound, Ganote. He's got 4 of those already. 3 right wing, and how about that? Quinn Nelson, yes. Paul Corsaro, timeout. Beautiful shot. Look at the stroke here. Nothing but nylon. And suddenly the Hounds have lost their lead. They're down 3. We'll have the final 5 minutes after this.
Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment. This is Uindytv News.
From the south side of Indianapolis, it's Nickerson Hall. Ben Nickerson, he's the point guard, pulling it across the court. His great-grandfather Angus Nickerson is who this gym is named after, a former basketball coach, a legendary basketball coach for Uindy. Here's the mid-range J. Rolls in and out, but a rebound goes to Choa. A lot of contact, no calls. Turnover, Ganote on the run. Goes up, Euro step, blocked off the bucket. What are they going to say here? Foul probably before it went in.
As you can see here, Choa called for the foul or the goaltending. I don't know about that one.
I think instead they're going to send him to the line. They could have went about 6 different ways with that one.
Do you think that was a goaltend?
I don't think so whatsoever.
I feel like that wasn't a foul. I feel it was more of a goaltend than a foul.
Instead, they'll call him from both. However, the referee's going to talk this one over. We'll give him a chance to do so. When we return, we'll have the call for you, Uindytv and the GLVC Sports Network.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
Back here, they are going to send Gano to the line for the and one after the goaltending. We'll see him. He gets just one. Not too often you get an and one from a goaltend, right?
Yeah, you don't see that at all, and I'm surprised it was called here. Pretty bold of them.
Tell you what, big reason why the Bearcats have a 6-point lead. Uindy, they started guns a-blazing from downtown. They haven't given up, but how about this? They started 3 of 6, a good number. Since then, 1 of their last 9 from beyond the arc. That's why you got to get it to the big man, and Kendrick Cho, and he does things like that.
I mean, we talked about it, too, when they were shooting all those threes. Like, you're either ride or die by this, and you don't really want to die by this, especially at the end of a half. I mean, 1 for 9 is pretty substantial.
Bearcats, they've only made 2 of their 6, but that's the thing, is they've made, almost 3 times less the amount of threes. They've taken as many as the Hounds, so it's been more selective. They're really getting in the paint more, and they're finding a lot more success in that regard. The Hounds just kind of settling for some poor shots at times, right?
Yeah, and sometimes they're not. I mean, shots are open. They just haven't been able to capitalize on them yet.
14 points in the paint for the Bearcats. As Dinkins hits his first free throw, I'll tell you what, when he's hit the line, he's automatic. 95% from the foul line, the top free throw shooter in the GLVC. And he misses one there. I think that's the old broadcaster's jinx there. Nope, no such thing, Drew. Didn't matter what I would have said. He was going to miss it anyway, but he's very much mostly automatic. Here, look at that little foul called on the inside. Let's take another look at this.
Bingham driving here off the glass. They called a blocking foul. Send Bingham to the line for 1.
He's in the restricted area. Bingham impressively hit that shot. So the foul count continues to increase. Bingham this season, 58%. You want to look the other way when you see that number from the foul line. You see there he misses. Just the one area that he's not been able to finish his breakfast.
Just a tick down from last year.
Tough defense out on the perimeter. You don't see Kendrick Choa beyond the arc very often on D, and he does a good job there. The rest of the Hounds trying to follow suit. 7 to go on the clock. Nice spin. Still nothing. Crawford steps up, takes one, and he drains it at the light. How about that? R.J. Crawford.
Insane. Shot clock winding down. Needed a bucket. Pulls up from 3 and knocks it down, giving momentum right to the Bearcats here.
Working on Craig, the freshman. He's had a mostly up season, especially from downtown, but today a bit of an up and down day. Hounds down 6. This cuts that in half. Bingham, a kiss to the gods.
Great ball movement there by Jarvis Walker to find the open Bingham. And we're right back in this thing for the Greyhounds.
Three points separate the two squads. Southwest Baptist, the number 2 scoring offense in the conference, try to get some points here. Instead, it's stolen away with the theft is Jarvis Walker. Bingham, left hand, comes in strong, pulls up, and he can't make it. Controlling it was Crawford. He's got 4 boards a game. He'll go in, tries to go coast to coast, and too strong there.
Foul. Looked to be called. We'll send Jacoby to the line for 2 after this break.
But first, how about we head down to the sideline with Naya Ortiz.
Well, this has been a crazy session after this timeout. Coach C has been very explicit after the timeout, letting a couple not so good words fly out of his mouth, really telling his players to put their hands on that ball and drive it up the court. He has, as well as our audience, has shown clear frustration about the calls being made by the refs tonight. Screams have been made, and the Bearcats have really picked it up after the previous timeout, and their players are really happy about that, trying to tear on their team over the Greyhounds' amazing and loud audience tonight. It has been intense, and there's more to come. Stay tuned with us. Back up to you guys.
Nickerson Hall, Indianapolis, down on the south side. As right now, it's the home of the Greyhounds, who at home this season, 12-1. They're playing very well inside these friendly confines. It seems like each game the crowd gets bigger and bigger. Coach Corsaro trying to remind people what it's like to attend a game at UIndy. You know, before COVID hit, this was the place to be on a Thursday and Saturday night.
I think it's starting to get back there. I mean, if we look around and you see in your camera angles, we have a pretty packed house here tonight, or this afternoon, excuse me, for a very good basketball game. Students are showing up, fans are showing up, and I think this can be like you said, this could be the place to be from now on.
For Southwest Baptist, they play very well at home as well. They're 10-2, but unfortunately for them, they are traveling where they are 4-5 so far this season, really struggling when they're away from Bolivar.
I know, but if they get above 75 points on the year, they're 17-0. That's a stat that the Greyhounds need to kind of be wary of. I mean, with 34, sitting at 34 right now, it could happen. You never know, but.
Nice block. How about that? A collective ooh from everybody as the big man returns to sender and gets the favor returned on the other end. But that time it's a foul. Walker to the line. Take a look at this one. How about that? You just use your long arms when you're 7 foot.
Great chain of events there for the Greyhounds. Julian Steinfeld with the block, and that leads to a Jarvis Walker. Could have been layup, but sitting the line for 2.
For Walker today, he's missed both of his free throw shots, both of his 3-point shots, scoreless so far until now. And that's going to be big for UIndy, is really hitting some of these free throws. They've been just 50% so far in the first half. When you're being sent to the line as many times as you are, you got to convert.
No, I agree. I mean, they've had 14 free throw attempts, 50%, like you said.
An offensive foul. Ball goes in the hands of the Greyhounds for the final 100 seconds of half number 1. They're up by a penny, trying to increase that.
Yeah, I like how they're fighting back here. SBU has been held scoreless for the last minute and 40. And I think that
7-0 run, it's what it's going to take. How important in this game, as close as these guys are, the implications in the regionals and in the conference, how important is it to go into halftime with the lead today?
Oh, huge. I mean,
and that'll help. That will help. And a foul. The not so traditional 4-point play for Walker. Now it's a 10-0 run. You were saying, Drew, the importance of heading into the break up on the scoreboard.
Oh, yeah. I mean, going into the halftime break with a lead is huge. I mean, you always like that extra cushion coming out. But at the same time, if you're down, you can also use it as motivation. I mean, you're like, oh, man, I'm down 5 points. We got to come out with a fire. And, like, if you're the opposing team, you know they're going to come out, and you can kind of use that to your advantage as well.
A conversation between the referees while they talk. How about we step aside? We'll have more next. Actually, let's go ahead and come back here. Nice quick little break. Let's take a look at Jarvis Walker alone at the free throw line. Hits it. He'll get a couple, though, because of that technical foul. So how about this, the traditional 5-point play? How often do you see that?
I think the tech was...
He converts it. A 5-point play.
The tech was assessed on, I think, the bench of the Bearcats.
And you know what? He can make it a 6-point play. So you get the 2 technical free throws, and you get your and one, and you get your 3-pointer. Drew, have you ever seen this?
No, I haven't.
Be curious to see how many times in the sport of basketball a 6-point play is converted. I mean, a 4-point play is rare. A 5-point play is unheard of, and this is a 6-point play. I don't know if that's ever happened before. How about that? That is wild. You hit the 3, you get the and one, and you get the 2 tech fouls. He hits them all, and just like that, 6 points to the name of Jarvis Walker.
Congratulations to Jarvis Walker for entering that very elite club.
Robinson picks up his 3rd foul. That's huge. He's going to have to head to the bench, and at the very least, for the remainder of this first half, you got to imagine they're going to talk this one over. You know what? How about that? The trust from Paul Corsaro, letting Kobe stay. I spoke too soon. It's on me. Instead, he'll head to the bench, and number 2, Josiah Tynes, enters the game.
I think Coach Corsaro has a lot of trust in his players too. I mean, Jacoby has 3 fouls. There is only a minute 18 left, so
no need to risk it. Right?
Yeah, I think he's making the responsible call here and resting him.
His first free throw stopped a 13-0 run over the last 2 minutes. That's what it's going to take for the Hounds, as they currently enjoy a 6-point lead. The drive. A tough contested shot, and it just did not have the juice it needed.
Jesse thought about passing it midair and then committed towards the basket.
Taking a climb on the shoulders of Mitch Ganote. That was Sean Craig. He skied up there, and
it looks like
piggyback ride.
A piece of the backboard fell when it was hit. I guess it's no big deal, so play on.
No big deal until Kendrick Choa goes up and slams a dunk in the second half and shatters it. Stay tuned for that.
This is just a game of firsts. First 6-point play.
The referees are going to talk this one over and see, hey, is this an issue? Is this going to be a problem? Is this going to backfire on us?
Kendrick's at the check-in line right now.
He says, come on, let me in. Let me at that backboard. Come half number 2. A tough bounce. It rattles out. Ganote is 66% free throw shooter. And again, the reigning GLVC Player of the Week, the 2nd time this calendar year that he's won that Player of the Week award. Choa, who won it earlier this season as well, controls the board. An empty trip to the line. Straight away, triple, can't. That was Tynes. Now he's set back on defense. Transition 3, and he fires the launch codes. How about Drew McMillan? Look at this.
Great transition bucket for McMillan.
Beautiful.
As that brings the Bearcats so much closer.
And get this, they're now 4 of 8 from the line. The Hounds will hold for a final shot. Just half a second separates the two clocks, so they'll allow that to expire in the air. You got to imagine. Here's Bingham on the inside. Skies up, misses it, out of bounds. Whose ball? It's Greyhound's ball. And they'll have 5.3 seconds to shoot this one before they head to the break.
On this inbound play here, I'd watch the alley-oop. The inbound alley-oop.
Check out number 1, check out number 3. It's going to go to one of them. Instead, it does go to 3, but he loses it. 2 seconds. A long 3, top of the backboard to the break. The Hounds ahead by a triple. Let's head down to the sideline. You see head coach Paul Corsaro. He's got a lot to do heading into halftime. Let's go down to Naya Ortiz on the sideline.
Well, it has been super crazy heading in to halftime, and the cheers have echoed through the stadium as the crowd has been going crazy for our Greyhounds tonight. The pressure Coach Corsaro applied to the Greyhounds clearly seemed to spark them up after the last media timeout, and the Bearcats, well, as they took the lead from the Bearcats, as I should say, and the matchup has been so action-packed to the point where a small piece from the rim actually broke out not too long ago. I'm Naya Ortiz reporting for Uindytv on the GLVC Sports Network. Back up to you guys.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
To them, the whole world looks like an opportunity, one to be seized, built upon, and made better for their sport and the people around it. To student athletes, every opportunity is a chance to change what could be and show the world what opportunity can do.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela Burgess. An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela Burgess. An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org/opportunity.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Wow, that's so many memories, I would say. I think the things that when my teammates and I get together, what we enjoy the most, I think, are just all the stories, all the things that happen between us playing against some of the best schools. You know, we played some Division I schools. We beat Eastern Illinois twice. A thrill for a Division II school to go in and to beat a Division I school. And I think we remember, you know, feeling like kind of the David versus Goliath. And that's what I think we realized, if you can come together as a group, you know, that you can have success. Well, I think any competitive person, it's tough. But I still look at it today. You know, it's been 30 years since I played competitive basketball, and In the business world and the education world, you lose, and things happen, and you go back to your playing days, and you got knocked down, and you got to get back up. So that was kind of our mantra. I think to have dreams. As a little kid, I had dreams that I wanted to do something athletically, and basketball was my passion. And so I don't care what it is, do something that you like, that you're passionate about. That to me is the most important thing, and then work to achieve it. And if you work hard enough at it, I think your dreams can come true, even when people tell you it'll never happen. And that to me was kind of the David versus Goliath thing. Yeah, and it's a cliche, but I do think life is a game. Life is a competition. And I think I was prepared because I competed in college, and I say the same thing to people. You kind of those same attributes. You have to work hard, you have to practice what you want to do, and you have to believe in yourself, and you have to have those dreams, and you put that package together, and I think it's a pretty good package for success. Hi, I'm Larry Tucker. I'm a former NCAA student athlete from Lewis University.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
I pledge.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust.
Welcome back on the other end of the halftime break, and take a look at some of the top stats of that first half. The Hounds obviously lead on the scoreboard, but look at this. Only shooting 38% compared to Southwest Baptist. A little bit better than that. Three-point percentage has been huge, though. 6 of 19. Are you kidding me, Drew Ranke? Where Southwest Baptist, obviously 4 of 8, a lot more selective. They're hitting a lot more shots. It has worked out in their favor. And how about that? You see the points in the paint. Very much in favor of Southwest Baptist.
Yeah, and that's something that the Greyhounds can't really have going into the second half. They need to really focus on that coming out of the halftime break here. And like you mentioned, the three-point percentage as well. I mean, they shot 6 for 19 from beyond the arc, did the Hounds.
It's not going to get the job done.
And that's something that they really need to look at. I mean,
you know, it's impressive, though, all this. It's all kind of skewed in Southwest Baptist's favor. The Hounds are ahead on the board by 3. It's been a big difference.
One thing that we do need to kind of pay attention to as well is the fouls. I mean, in the first half we saw Southwest Baptist have 10 fouls within the first 12 minutes. And you just have to be careful of that if you're both teams.
The Hounds will have possession coming out of the break. They'll try to increase a 3-point lead. Choa kicks it out. Back to Choa. Inside, strong, up, fouled. Put him at the line.
Another early foul called there for the Bearcats. One foul within 13 seconds.
And you know, we talk about team fouls and how big they are, that we've seen so many fouls committed against Southwest Baptist. But you know what's going to be bigger is once we get to these final minutes of the game and guys start fouling out left and right. It's going to be huge.
Yeah, I think so too, especially if you're Southwest Baptist. I mean, nobody's really in foul trouble yet. You got a couple players with 3, but I mean, we still have 19:47 remaining in this half.
Kudos to Choa, hitting both at the line. Puts him at 8 points and 4 rebounds on the day. Only a little bit behind his 27.14 rebound performance just 48 hours ago. Gano almost loses it, but he gets his handle on it. Defense just wasn't there to snatch the mistake. Nelson kicks it out, and here's a 3. Left wing, yes, Noah Franklin, he got it.
That's a perfect start if you're the Bearcats coming out of halftime. Nail a 3 and bring this one back within 2.
Kendrick Choa kicks it out to the corner. Bucket. Sean Craig, his first triple of the day, and just like that, both these teams firing from beyond the arc. Could be a shootout.
Complete opposite of what we saw in the first half.
Tynes defending a note. Crawford working on 2 white jerseys. Stuck in the corner. Crawford with the runner, puts it in. R.J. Crawford.
Nice shot there by R.J. Crawford. I mean, there was a lot of contact there, and when he went up, he just found the highest point and put it in.
Bruno Williams feeds it inside. Here's Choa all alone, misses it. Doesn't do that very often. Craig fouled. And how about that? Coach Grossaro asking why there was not a foul called when they hacked Kendrick Choa. Instead, somebody gets to the line, but Choa, hey, #1 in the nation when it comes to field goal percentage. He just doesn't miss. And guess what? He's 5 percentage points above #2, head and shoulders above the rest of the nation when it comes to converting these. He only takes high percentage shots. And if he doesn't make them, it's typically because he's fouled.
Choa's 1 for 1 on the day, 4 for 6 from the free throw line.
1 for 1 on the day. That's just wild. And yet he's taking plenty of shots. They just foul him every time. He's only made 1 field goal on the day. That's wild.
And you mentioned the high percentage shots. I mean, all of his shots really come within the restricted arc there underneath the basket, and that's nothing against him. That's just what they need him to do. I mean,
and it's good on his part not to move out of what he feels comfortable with when it comes to playing basketball. He knows he can dominate the paint. Why try anything else? Why go mid-range?
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
A lot of contact beyond the arc. Here's Nelson. Nelson driving, left hand, loses the ball and a foul. This will be against Jesse Bingham. His second foul today. I'm going to say this is a shooting foul, so send Nelson to the line. He's got 10 points, the only player in double figures to this point. It's been a well spread out game. Everybody getting on the board. There's not one person dominating, Drew, both ends.
If I'm Paul Cassar or Clark Sheehy of SBU, I'd recognize what's happening right now. And if you drive to the paint or drive to the glass, you're going to get fouled. Like, there is nothing around that you're going to get a foul called against you. So why not just do that? I mean, the game will take about 3.5 hours, but why not do that? I mean, you're going to get sent to the line every time.
You know, both teams have found success inside the paint as well. I mean, yeah, you're making three-pointers, but you're also throwing up a lot of those. Just get it inside. That's what the Greyhounds will try to do here. The foul off the ball. The Hounds give it up.
They call it an offensive foul?
Yeah. That'll be against Bruno, who was sent into the ground. So they'll say it was his fault that he got all that contact. He'll get a breather. It's his first foul. And you know, for head coach Paul Corsaro, Southwest Baptist is the only team that he has not beaten in the GLVC. Of course, that until Upper Iowa University joins the conference next fall. But you know, this is the one team, Drew, that he has not gotten that victory check. They've lost the last 3.
Yeah, and I mean, they've just gotten unlucky the last couple times, but coming in here today with the squad that they have, there's no reason they should come away with a loss.
Adds a lot more pressure when you're the favorite and you're only up by a couple at this juncture of the game. Here's a 3. Kind of a wild one. Had to take it because of the shot clock. They had a shot clock violation. But I think this is the issue with the scorer's table, right? Because it hit the rim just fine, and then it went off. Regardless, they'll have to give it to Uindy. Yeah, just kind of a sloppy work from our guy Alex Rohr down there laughing it off. It's a scorer's table. Formerly of the Uindy SID department the last couple years. Going back in spot duty. Hey, Alex, hit the button. Mid-range J, and it's nothing but nothing at all. That's it. Nothing. It's an air ball. You don't see that very often.
It might have got tipped on his release there.
Inside, trying to finish. He does. Floating it in is Noah Franklin. He's had a quiet day. His 3rd point, he averages 10. Walker inside with the runner, launches it up. He gets some help, but is fouled. Walker to the line again. How many times am I going to say this? To the line. Fouled. Another personal. Over and over. You just keep seeing it. Already the 6-1 between the two teams. And Drew, we're not 4 minutes in.
Yeah, and this is the story of the first half as well. I mean, this is what has happened in the entire game.
Free throws are going to determine who wins the game. If I were to guess, down the stretch, Hounds miss 1, the lead is just 2.
Right now, Uindy's sitting at 65% from the line, and the Bearcats are 62. So, and it's pretty even right now in the free throw shooting category.
Bearcats, one of the best free throw shooting teams in the conference. But today, you're right, it just hasn't quite been their day, only shooting 63%. Just want to see more makes from both teams. They're simply leaving points on the table. Ganote finishes off the 3-point play. Kicks it out. Here's Tynes. Drives it in. Puts it up. Offensive foul. He charged him. What'd you think there? There was just a lot of contact from number 2.
That could have been either way. I mean, the way the officials are calling things right now, it's a coin flip on what happens.
Makes it tough to play the game, doesn't it?
Especially with a stoppage every minute, 30 seconds. I mean, neither team's really getting in the rhythm, and it's kind of hurting both of them at this point. I mean, no momentum can be gained, no momentum can be lost. It's just there's a possession foul, possession foul.
A nice layup finishes on his right hand, Mitch Ganote. And head coach Paul Corsaro looks to call a timeout. With that gives us the golden opportunity to head down to the sideline. Our sideline reporter, her name is Naya Ortiz. Naya, let's see what you have for us.
It has been crazy after halftime. Both teams are on edge as this game has been incredibly close. Coach Corsaro at one point even asking the refs why they're making the calls that they're making because they simply just don't make sense to him. And I think our Greyhound audience definitely agrees. points have fluctuated a lot, leaving the crowd on the edge of their seats, screaming their hearts and lungs out here for our Greyhounds tonight. At one point, the score was tied, and we heard a lot of boos from the Greyhound supporters at that. Back up to you guys. I'm Naya Ortiz, reporting to GLC Sports Network.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
This game is supposed to be back here at Nickerson Hall. And man, what a game we've got so far. It's been back and forth. Currently with the lead is Southwest Baptist. A big reason why, Drew. They're on a 6-1 run, and the Hounds have only made one of their last 7 from the field. It's been a struggle on one end and a lot of success on the other.
Yeah, and like I was talking about before break, and like we were talking about during the break, that there's really no flow to this game whatsoever. I mean,
there's one team that's staying busy out there. They wear the stripes.
The Zebras are doing a lot today. And hopefully this game can get turned around. Hopefully we get some momentum from both sides and get a good end to this game.
Robinson playing with 3 fouls, feeds his teammate who finds a triple team. Does not matter. Drew, how many people do you have to put on Kendrick Choa?
Well, you're only allowed 5 on the court, so I'll say 6.
Even then, I'm not sure. He splits the triple team. How in the world does he do it? What a player. He's got 10 points. R.J. Crawford, nice reverse layup. Launches that up with his right fingertip. Not bad.
And this is what I like to see. Flow to both teams. And both teams getting buckets. Both teams are really starting to feel themselves. And
you know what? Nobody's complaining. It's better for the referees when it's like this.
We're getting good game action.
No look pass. Here's a triple. Rattles off. Offensive board and a putback. Flex your muscles, big man. What more can you say about number 1? Inside, how about that? A strong finish. Finding the cutting Quinn Nelson, who puts it up for 2. And suddenly the lead back to 3.
That was a great play there by the Bearcats. Quinn Nelson coming down the lane, and it was just a solid play overall.
Robinson snipes. Watch out, Jacoby is hot.
This is what we like to see, both teams dogging it out.
It's Robinson's 3rd triple of the contest, and suddenly we have a tie game. And the Hounds just making some of these second half 3-pointers. That was the big difference. First half, very strong early. 3 of 6, and then they just flattened out from there. But since we came out of the break, it has been very fruitful from downtown. 2 of 3 to start at the Hounds shot. Bearcats wide open. The team's best 3-point shooter drains it. How about that shot from Quinn Nelson?
Huge shot there by Nelson. Gave them the lead back, and that gave them a lot of momentum going.
At the 1 position, the big man. He's also a forward right now. He's playing point guard. Robinson launches one. Tough play, double team, loses the ball. It'll be Bearcat ball. How about the defense there from Southwest Baptist?
Southwest Baptist is starting to really rally on the offense and the defensive end.
Inside feed, wide open bucket. The bunny Aiden Stone.
Back up to a 5-point game.
Stone with 7 points and 5 boards. Hounds have fallen victim to a 5-0 run from the Bearcats, and that's not going to get it done. A blocking foul, though. We'll see Etherington at the line. What was that? What was that shot? Not quite what you want to see when you're driving on the inside from the senior.
I think he tried to roll it over the front of the rim there. Just that contact stopped all his momentum, and nothing really continued out of that.
That's big, though. That's the third foul called against Quinn Nelson. Again, last Thursday night, 2 days ago, became the team's all-time leading scorer. And now he's got 3 fouls. Could be playing with walking on eggshells out there. How about Etherington, though? His father, Brett, and his brother, Austin, both played basketball for Butler. His brother, Alex, played for Uindy. That was all the way back to the class of 2018. Basketball runs in the Etherington blood. And what a night for him to be honored tonight alongside his 3 fellow seniors. Walker wings it to the corner. Williams! My goodness!
Great find there by Jarvis Walker. I feel like we said that a lot all night. Jarvis Walker always finds the open man.
Nelson on the drive, pulls up, mid-range, stops, pops, hits it.
Nelson's just in a world of his own right now.
Really
He's
is.
unconscious.
Trying to hit another one, cannot. Etherington with a miss and a tough fall. It'll be a foul. Looks like against the Greyhounds. Is that going to be against Kendrick Choa? For Choa, his 3rd now. And that forces Steinfeld to enter the game. Let me tell you, Drew, you win a lot of games. You win 17 in a row, and a lot of these come by blowouts, right? But then you get these close games, and how important have the last 5 or 6 games been for Indianapolis when they've been in these close game situations and been able to finish out, 3, 4, 5, 6-point wins.
I mean, it just really shows the team that you are. I mean, they've come from behind before and they've closed out the game. This is just another, to them, this might be just another game, but this game's kind of hit or miss for both teams.
You need a reminder, the Hounds currently, we would imagine, at the top of the Midwest region. A miss there on the layup, the rebound, and now Williams fires. And can't get it to go, but then a board from the big man. And now we'll have a timeout called. That will bring us to the under 12 media timeout. I'll finish my thought in a little bit, but first, how about we go down to the sideline? Our sideline reporter is Naya Ortiz. Naya, what do you have for us?
It has been super crazy since the last time out. As I've said, each time I've been back here, the action just keeps going, and they are playing hard tonight. The Bearcats have took the lead since the last time out, and 20 from SBU hit the ground super, super hard just at the 12-minute mark. I hope you guys watched that. It was a very hard hit, and there was a lot of oohs from the crowd. A lot going on here tonight. I'm Naya Ortiz reporting for Uindytv on the GLV Sports Network.
Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment. This is Uindytv News.
The Bearcats, you see them right there on your screen. They lead by 4. And if you need a reminder of the implications of this game, the Greyhounds currently sitting near or at the top of the Midwest region. They're ranked number 6 in the nation. Next best is Hillsdale at 13th in that region. So you got to imagine they're sitting at the top of the region. If they continue to win and finish in first place of that Midwest region, they're going to host the first 7 games of the NCAA tournament. That's big for this squad, some home tournament games. For Southwest Baptist, though, the last, well, let's see here. First, it's Steinfeld muscles his way inside. But for Southwest Baptist, The last regional rankings that came out this week, they were sitting right at the bottom of that, as you can imagine, looking at their record, their standings, some of their wins. So they really need a big win like this one against the Hounds to get a convincing spot, and they're trying to earn an at-large bid here.
Yeah, Alex, that's what they need to do here. If they want to make the tournament, then they have to win this game.
Deflected out of bounds by the 7-footer. Boy, is he having a stretch of basketball. Kendrick Choahu. 7 rebounds for this guy. Got a couple steals, poked the ball out a few times. Here's Ganote on the drive, working on the Hounds' defense and suffocating him. That's Bruno Williams in transition, moving quickly. Walker has to kick it out, find some more options. Jarvis Walker loses the ball. In transition, coming in strong, a foul. What are they going to say? It's a charge. Williams laying on the ground, happily claps his hands together. You take the 2 off the board and you give the Greyhounds the basketball. And just like that, Hounds down by a pair. They've got the ball and a chance to take or tie it.
That can be huge momentum for them.
Each team has committed 7 fouls. That's why they are both in the single bonus. 1-on-1 shots on any common fouls for the next few. The Hounds to run their half-court set. Needing some offense here. Halfway through the second stanza. Driving inside. Needing some room, and he can't get it, and a whistle blown. Are they going to call this a foul on Southwest Baptist?
Yes.
I don't know about that, Drew. I don't know about that. They're going to send Bruno Williams to the line. Drew, what is going on? Was there? I think I might have touched Bruno Williams as much as R.J. Crawford did on that play.
I mean, there was definitely contact, but I don't think there was any contact that warranted a foul.
Oh, he was just backing down a defender in the paint. That happens on half the plays in basketball. Williams will take it, though. He'll take the free point. He'll get another shot here. Bruno Williams, the team's top free throw shooter. Top 15 in the conference in that category. Shoots 82% from this charity stripe. His right foot toes the line. He can tie it here. He does. Ganote. Inside to the corner. It's a 2-pointer. Doesn't count. An offensive foul. His foot was on the line. Wouldn't have mattered regardless. It was a nice shot, but doesn't count. After the offensive foul, yet another whistle. It's a costly one for Southwest Baptist.
That was a moving screen there. And it was pretty, that was one of the obvious ones.
The 9th foul called against Southwest Baptist. Tough drive. A lot of purple jerseys, fires and hits from downtown. Jesse Bingham. My goodness, ahead by 3 are the Hounds. They'll celebrate heading into the timeout, 10 to go. After this, Uindytv and the GLVC Sports Network. Foul trouble. Drew Ranke, foul trouble. That's the topic coming out of this timeout as And the Hounds enjoy a 3-point lead, but we've seen so many fouls. We're only halfway through in this second half. Already 16 fouls committed between the two teams, and it's been costly. Before we even hit that 10-minute mark, we see a couple guys in deep foul trouble, one of them which just left the game. Brandon Eccles fouled out, one of the taller players on the floor for Southwest Baptist. Definitely could have used his size on the inside. And then, starter and forward, another their tallest player on the floor, Noah Franklin. He's got 4 fouls right now, and it makes it a lot harder to play basketball when you have this many fouls and you're sending the Hounds to the line so often. This third team, the refs, have really had an impact on this game. Here on the other end, Bruno Williams blocked away. How about that? Quinn Nelson on the other end, going up, trying to go over the big man. He can't. For Steinfeld, his 8th rebound. And now to slow things down will be the Hounds. A crazy sequence of basketball there.
Great defensive play there.
Beautiful.
By Nelson.
Block on each side of the floor. Here's Steinfeld working in strong. Instead, downtown, off target. This time a blocking foul. Tynes gets whistled. That's his 4th. That's huge. Tynes is probably going to have to go to the bench now.
He has to be careful for the rest of this game.
4
There's still
fouls,
9 minutes left in this game.
This is unheard of. Not very often we see this type of basketball game being played.
One that stops every 45 seconds.
You gotta let the guys play. And Drew, we've been complaining about it for a while, but it's on both sides.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's been an issue the entire game. It's just, it doesn't make a ton of sense to me. It doesn't compute in my head. Why do we have a whistle every other play?
It's like the Super Bowl. I mean, both teams played on the grass.
One point away. Southwest Baptist, couple foul shots. Those are big. You need to capitalize when you're sent to the line, which is going to happen very often. Here's Sean Craig, gets it across. Tynes was given a seat. That brings in Robinson to play the point. From the elbow, backwards. Here's right wing 3. Clanks off the back iron. Controlling it was Garrett Struford. He's got 3 fouls. Nothing called there. It's one where we might have been able to see something. I like that they let him play. Here's a 3. Ganote off target again. Bingham skies for the rebound. Jesse on the inside. The floater rolls around in a foul. A collective from everybody in the crowd. Could have been a 3-point play. Instead, Bingham's going to have to earn both of those at the line, and boy, he's going to have to earn those.
I like how physical both teams are being, and this has just really turned into a dogfight.
They're not backing down. They get called with all these fouls, but it's not making them any less aggressive. They're waiting to see what'll give. Either you go for an early shower as people start getting fouled out, or the referees will start letting them play a little bit. You got to hope the final 8 minutes, the final stretch of this game, you let the guys play.
I mean, this Southwest Baptist team isn't a bad one. I mean, they went 21-6 last year, #1 seed in the GLVC tournament, so they're not afraid of big games.
They did get upset in that first game against the 8th seed at the time, William Jewell. That was in Edwardsville, SIUE, Southern Illinois University of Edwardsville, where the Greyhounds went to the championship round, had an 18-0 lead to start the game in that championship final against UMSL, ended up blowing it and losing the game. Both these teams trying to avenge tough losses from the last tournament, in which will take place here in just a couple weeks, Drew. Right around the corner will be the GLVC tournament, and a week after that, we'll have the regional finals. Look at that, a tough shot. Robinson says, oh well, had to take it. I made it, not bad.
And I think that this game right here that we're watching in front of us is good. It's going to bode well for both teams in the tournament. I mean, you got to play close games and you got to play hard-fought games, and this is going to be one of them.
Crawford too strong. I'm not a huge fan of that arc that he takes the shot from. It's kind of shoots it forward instead of up and in. It's It's tough to make a shot with those types of line drives. Maybe it was just the way it rolled off his hand, but he's been off the mark for a couple from downtown. Crawford doing his best damage in the paint today. Not as much can be said from beyond the arc. Kick out. Of course, big man's not going to take the three. He'll pass it out. Corner. Can't do it. And Steinfeld, the hoop and the harm after the offensive board. Julian Steinfeld doing it all.
He is having himself one heck of a game here. Still 6:44 to go.
9 rebounds. Are you kidding me? Look at that one-hander. Goes up, gets hacked. It'll be the first foul called against Drennan Dinkins. With that, let's head down to the sideline.
It has been so action-packed. That is the only word that I can come up with to describe tonight's match. We have been on our toes all night as the game has been back and forth between UIndy and SBU. If you are here tonight, you possibly need to get your ears checked because the crowd has been going nuts for our Greyhounds tonight in Nickerson Hall. Their screams really shaking up the stadium. It seems that after the previous timeout, our Greyhounds really have their eyes glued to the ball, trying to keep it within arm's reach. We're still hoping for the 18th consecutive win tonight for our Greyhounds. Reporting for Uindytv on the GOV Sports Network, I'm Naya Ortiz.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
A 6-point advantage out of nowhere for UIndy. It's called a 5-0 run the last 2 minutes. It's been a bit since we've seen some scoring from Mitch Ganote's squad. You see him walking there, number 10. Having himself a good day, 9 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. Again, he had a triple-double earlier in the year, a game against Missouri S&T. He's also had 10 double-doubles. He's been an outstanding player, but how about Quinn Nelson, team's leading scorer, team's all-time leading scorer as of Thursday night, and he's put up 20 more points today.
Yeah, he's had himself one heck of a game here this afternoon. You know who else is having himself one heck of a game is Julian Steinfeld. 9 rebounds so far, and we still got about 6.5 minutes to go.
Speaking of Nelson, he tries to connect there. He can't. Here's go number 2. Can't do that one either. Don't see that very often. 2 straight misses. He was 3 of 6 going into that little drive, and he's 3 of 8 from downtown. Again, the conference's 3rd best 3-point shooter. Here's a long 2, and it's pure. Bruno.
I love the look of that jump shot there by Bruno Williams.
Thinking about a triple, instead he'll kick it out. Ganote's got it. Loses the ball. How about the steal there and a foul? Looked like Drennan Dinkins just pushed off a little too strong, trying to go after that basketball. And just like that, the march goes to the other end, where we'll see some bonus shots. Already in the double bonus, 5.5 to go. Second foul called by Dinkins. Let's see what happens here. They're going to talk this one over. Looks like they're going to have to bring a player.
He's got to come back in for the 2 free throws since he was on the court during the foul.
A premature swap from Aiden Stone heading to the bench. Give the guy his water. He needs a break, right? He'll have to wait patiently. Cho awaiting his chance to come into the game as well.
He just has to wait. Make it 1 more free throw.
Three Hounds in double figures already. We've seen so much scoring here, right? It's been the one beneficiary of all these free throws. Is we've seen, a free 21 points for UIndy and a free 14 points for Southwest Baptist. Some high scoring numbers here. Again, for UIndy, they're averaging 77 on the season, and when they score more than 63, they're 23-0.
But then again, on the other side, Southwest Baptist, if they score more than 75, they're 17-0. So this might be a battle of who can outlast each other.
When these two offenses get going, wins start to accumulate. to say the least. Here's the one outlet pass to the corner, and it's in! Drennan Dinkins, bingo!
What a shot there in the corner by Dinkins.
The defense chance running rampant inside of Nickerson Hall. Nice moves on the inside, feeding his big man who hits the 2. 14 points, 6 boards. Kendrick Choa. He's got 3 fouls though. Inside, another quick one. How about that off the glass? Bounces it in. Noah Franklin, the bank is open for you.
I like that play. I mean, it was simple yet effective for the Bearcats.
Launching it, Craig fires from downtown and he rattles it around and off. A deep one, the launch codes. And that's the definition of rattles out. Now the Greyhounds with numbers. In transition, another 3. Bingham, no! Board goes to Craig, who's fouled. Again, you talked about earlier, you shoot threes, that's not where you want to be on the court. You get it inside and suddenly fouls are going to be called, you get some free shots.
I mean, that's how it's been the entire game for both sides. I mean, if you get down low, you're going to get hit. And like we just saw there's a pretty blatant foul, and it's just going to happen every time, it feels like.
Craig playing some great minutes today. He's played 18 minutes. It's his 3rd rebound. Sean Craig splashes it from the line. And suddenly, the number 6 team in the nation continuing to separate themselves. Currently ahead by 9. A critical stretch of basketball for the Bearcats if they want to get back in this game. It's going to start right here. You need to get points here, and he can't. The hesitation. Oh, he does. How about that? The and one. Dinkins having himself a good stretch of basketball with 2 guys much taller than him. Robinson and Choa both 6'7", and for Dinkins there, he's 6 foot. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I'd go on Robinson there, and that's his 4th on the ball game, so.
That's big.
Still 4 minutes to go here.
Robinson's got 4 fouls. Choa's got 3 fouls. Bingham has 3 as well. Tynes up there with 4. So many guys in foul trouble for Uindy. It's the nature of all these fouls we've seen being called. It's not slowing down anytime soon. These referees are sticking to their guns. Walker looking for some offense, trying to find an area to penetrate. Bingham's going to try it instead. Beyond the arc. Yes, sir! That's money from Josiah Tynes.
Huge bucket from Josiah Tynes there. Got the momentum going for the Greyhounds.
The 4th hound in double figures. Looks like he stepped on the baseline. Nothing there. No one was in the area to see. Drew, what I say earlier. Ball doesn't lie, right? He launches it out of bounds, throws it to Casper.
That ball looked like it hit the baseline, but I think the ref was in the position of behind and he couldn't see it.
81-72 the score. Let's go down to our sideline. Reporter Naya Ortiz.
Another amazing session after the last media timeout. The Bearcats coach back with his arms crossed as the Greyhounds stole the lead once again. Around the 4-minute mark as well, SBU number 10 flew into the Greyhound sideline as he attempted to block a shot, and it was very unsuccessful, I must say. The Greyhounds were on their feet for the majority of the time after the previous timeout, encouraging their players and really just trying to stay on top of this fast-paced and action-packed game tonight. Reporting for Uindytv on the GOVC network, I'm Naya Ortiz.
lead changes 6 ties. The Hounds have held the lead for almost 70% of the contest. They've really taken over of late. Their largest lead has been 10. It's currently just a shade below that. And they've just continued to increase on it. It's big here late in games. Continue to score. Don't let off the gas pedal. We'll see if they can do that. It's got to give you plenty of confidence if you can pull out a win like this. It's been a dogfight.
Especially on both sides. Both sides are playing great.
Whistle blows. Is this one going to be against Kendrick Choa? What are they going to say here? Looks like a hold on the inside. That's big. Fouling out the second player to do so. It's going to be Noah Franklin. He finishes the contest after picking up that 5th foul. He had 8 points, just 2 below his season average. Gives Uindy a quick chance to have a short little huddle. As Coach Clark he talks this one over with the referee, you can only imagine what he's saying in that conversation. Bring in Drew McMillan, that's 7 inches that they lose on the floor there. The Hounds just keep getting the ball inside. It's got to be the recipe, right?
I mean, that's what you have to do, especially with all these mismatches that we see up here. Coach Cascarro's got to have to see that.
Choa rattles the first one off. His second, you got it. Hounds by 10, tying their largest lead of the game. A timeout called. Let's step aside with them. Drew Ranky more next.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
Indianapolis double-figure lead. Tough number to overcome when there's only 3 minutes to go if you're a Bearcat, but it has to start right here. They've got the ball. And suddenly you've got a much better lineup on the floor in terms of shooting. You can't get the ball inside to any big guys anymore. Everyone right around 6 foot. How about this, though? Crawford, the football-style pass. That's a good way to get some points in the paint. Suddenly it's an 8-point lead.
You said before the break there, you're wondering what they were talking about, and there you go.
Beautifully drawn up pass. When you got all the speed on the floor, all these shorter guys, you just run it. Try to get some guys open in space. It turns into a track meet. Tynes drives in, meets a couple purple defenders. Craig does the same. We're going to need to see a mid-range J here. We'll see a tough one. And it clanks off the back iron. Chance to make it a 6-point game, going all the way in with the Euro step, and it's swatted away. Crawford tried, Craig denied.
You're going to have to see some of these teams start to whip out a full-court press here.
Thinking better of the 3 instead. Let's take another 10 seconds off the clock, says Bruno Williams. And so does Sean Craig. How about that? You got to have a lot of self-control when you're a freshman and you're a sharpshooter to get the ball wide open like that and say, I'll do what's best for the team. Let's run the clock out.
That was a great play there by Bruno Williams. Able to call the timeout.
Avoids what would have been a jump ball and sets a timeout. We'll take it with him.
Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. we have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment. This is Uindytv News.
So here's the scene for you. The Greyhounds ahead 82-74. There's a minute 42 to go in this contest. And right now there's 5 seconds left on the shot clock after Bruno Williams got tied up and called a timeout. It's going to be a quick pass and a bucket. Williams can do it here. He's going to drive in. Spins around, and it's blocked away. Shot clock violation. Yeah, how about that, though? Choa with the practice shot, maybe as far as he's shot in all game from about 6 feet out. And suddenly some life. Good defense taking him the entire length of the clock. An 8-point contest. Ball's out. It's a jump ball. Possession will remain for Southwest Baptist, but how about Kendrick Choa getting in there down and dirty?
And the officials are huddling about something. Choa came up looking at his elbow, thought he was bleeding.
Luckily for UIndy, Kendrick Choa doesn't bleed. Coach Corsaro says he's a Greek god. Don't have to worry about any pain for that man. They'll head to their respective huddles. We'll talk about this last play. We'll see what the verdict is after this.
Well, he came out of that.
Okay, let's come back here at Nickerson Hall. A nice 5-minute hiatus, all revealing nothing. They decide to just do what the original call was. It's just a jump ball, Southwest Baptist ball. They try to make do with it. They can't. Foul, though, to the line. We'll go Drennan Dinkins. How big would that have been if it sinked in and gave him a 3-point chance?
I mean, that would have been a heck of momentum there for the Bearcats. I was doing a little bit of math during the break, Nathaniel. That is the 49th foul combined between two teams in this game. And we still have a minute and 20 left.
True, that just doesn't happen in college basketball. Almost 50 fouls. That doesn't make any sense. That's not because of the way these guys are playing, I can tell you that much. Big free throws, hits them.
Both teams have felt the wrath of those 48 or 49 fouls.
6-point game. This is big, almost getting the turnover. They do. Southwest Baptist has the ball. They can bring it within a possession.
And that's pretty big for the Bearcats here. I mean, I don't know if necessarily go for the 3 right now and just take the points and try and get another turnover.
They've gotten the Hounds out of their groove a bit. Driving inside, they're going to try just for that, and Ganode can't. Rebound Showa, and another whistle. There's the 50th foul.
Big 5-0 on the ball game.
These guys are getting their cardio in today, Drew, not because of running back and forth, but because they're walking 60 feet to get to the foul line on the other side after every single whistle.
As we were talking about in the beginning of the game here, sending Kendrick Cho to the line in these clutch situations. I mean, this is a clutch situation here. And we got Mr. Cho to the line.
He'll get his 7th board before that foul was assessed. 15 points, 7 rebounds, 7 of 11 from the foul line. Second leading scorer on the team. 4th in double figures. Can't hit either though, that's huge.
That's a big win there for Southwest Baptist.
A 3 from their sharpshooter. He can't though. How about this? Ganode climbs up in 4 white jerseys. Dinkins step back 3. Are you kidding me? It's a 3-point game. What?
I don't know how that was not
Drew.
called a travel there at the lane.
Take a look at this. The step back to the left. The rattle down and in. And just like that. Goodness. What a game.
And here we go.
How about Uindy with the 10-point lead 2 minutes ago? And out of nowhere, Southwest Baptist has continued to claw back in this one. It's been a scoreless 2 minutes for the Greyhounds. And they're going to take another look at this one. Let's step aside and let them. Our sideline reporter is Naya Ortiz. My color commentator is Drew Ranke. I'm Nathaniel Finch. And Drew, it appears tonight the officials getting paid by the foul. I wish we had that same treatment as we have an interesting play here to inbound. The Hounds just trying to chew some clock and ideally get a play off. Maybe get a bucket in at the end of the shot clock. We'll see if they can do so. Ahead by just 3. Biggest possession of the game so far.
Interesting strategy here by the Bearcats not to foul. Because the Hounds are definitely going to take this all the way down.
I'd go foul Bingham if I were wearing a purple jersey. He's struggled from the line. Inside, double team. The hook shot's a miss. Offensive board and a make. Whoa! Kendrick Choa. Do it all, my friend.
As the big man down low, getting his own rebound and putting it back up for the big bucket.
15 seconds to go. The final bit here. You get the miss there. Choa gets it and he screams. Kendrick Choa, 9 rebounds, 17 points in the game-winning sequence.
Huge.
And that's the 4th foul on Drennan Dinkins.
Huge rebound there by Choa. Basically seal the game if he can put these free throws in.
Kendrick Choa playing out of his mind. He has gone unconscious. You're up by 5. There's 9 seconds to go. The game is all but over. You know, you hit these and it's just a little extra. It's a little cherry on top. The emphasis, it's a bit of whipped cream that you're putting on the end of this one. And he does get the first. This will be the first game this year that Southwest Baptist loses when they've scored 75 or more points. It's just been a fact that, you know, the Hounds have had a better offense of late. And don't get me wrong. This right now is a 7-point separation. This is not a 7-point game. This is a 1-bucket game that the Hounds just happen to do better in the last 2 minutes of hitting free throws. And it's going to look a little bit more lopsided than it should. Here's a straightaway 3. No. Board. Robinson, chuck it up. Game over. 18 straight. Tied for the most in program history. The Hounds on a roll. And Drew, they are right there. A great chance to host the NCAA Midwest Regional. What a game, what a win for the UIndy Greyhounds.
That really just showed the entire depth of this roster. Showed fight between everybody, and it really showed what this team is about. Credit to Southwest Baptist for playing under the same conditions as UIndy did. The officiating was questionable this entire night, but both teams played to the best of it. Greyhounds came out on top.
Let's head down to head coach, associate head coach, that is, and Mike Burris and Nia Ortiz.
Well, a big congratulations is in order for the Greyhounds tonight, so congratulations. How do you feel now that this has been your first ever career win against SBU, and on top of that, your 18th consecutive win with the Greyhounds?
You know what? That's a really good basketball team in Southwest Baptist. We've had some battles, you know, in our 3 years with Coach Pissarro. Hadn't been able to get over the hump, and it was good to beat them tonight. They were playing really well. They won 4 in a row. You know, a team that was predicted second in the league from the get-go at the beginning of the season. So a team that can shoot it and do a lot of things. They're so good offensively, the way they spread you out, and the motion they run is unique. You know, we made enough plays. You know, it was a gutsy performance. We didn't play our greatest on the defensive end, but we really made some shots and made some plays down the stretch to win the game.
I definitely agree that, and the audience was going crazy for the Greyhounds tonight. Of course, it's senior night. How vital have your seniors been this season and with the team in general?
You know what, the senior group, you know, when Coach Casaro got the job, you know, Nico stayed. You know, we got Bruno in here. AE was one of the coach's first recruits as a head coach that he signed. So, you know, and Kobe, you know, those guys have all been instrumental. You know, we started off 0-7 on our first season together under Coach, and now, you know, we got it rolling at a high level, and I believe 18 wins is a all-time school record, which is really good for our guys. You know, they continue to stick together. We talk about being 1-0 every single day on a daily basis, and we were 1-0 today against a really good team.
Yes, I definitely agree. Well, congratulations. A big celebration is in order for you Greyhounds tonight. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
I'm Nia Ortiz reporting sideline for Uindytv on the GLVC Sports Network.
Thanks a lot, Nia. We appreciate that conversation with associate head coach Mike Burris and, of course, our wonderful sideline reporter and Nia Ortiz. Drew, some final thoughts on this game, and what a good one it was here. Another treat in front of Nickerson Hall.
Yeah, it was a great game by both teams. And it really was a dogfight. I loved seeing both teams battle it out, and it was a great game. It was really one of those games that get you ready for March Madness and get you ready for all the tournament games coming up. Coach Burris was right that they did match the season high or season long win streak that was set in 1996 to 1997 of 18. The longest streak, though, is 30. That was in 1940 to 1943, so that spanned a couple seasons. But the season long win streak, they've tied it, have a chance to set that record here soon in the next game.
The Hounds are not done with tough games, right? They travel to the University of Missouri St. Louis, one of the top teams in the conference. They gave them a fight here at home. That's going to be a tough game on Thursday night. And then Missouri S&T, a high-powered offense, and Rolla, Missouri on Saturday. The Hounds have 2 critical games coming up, but, I mean, they control their own destiny here. You get some more wins, and you're going to host an NCAA regional, probably regardless of how the GLVC tournament shapes up. This is a big win for Coach Corsaro's squad.
I think hosting an NCAA tournament game is huge. Huge confidence for them. Huge recruiting tool for Coach Casaro, too. You can be like, look what I did in 3 years, and look what I've made here at the University of Indianapolis. Credit to all the players as well. They bought in, and they did everything the right way.
Production help from Andile Becker and Brandon Barger, our camera operators, the wonderful Owen over there with Elijah and Carter. Those are our 3 camera operators. Our director, fearlessly Graham Shear, getting us throughout this broadcast. How about Nia Ortiz down on the sideline? To my left, his name is Drew Ranke. I'm Nathaniel Finch, signing off. Maybe one final time. Maybe we get some regional games. We'll see. That's here from Nickerson Hall.